Hello people, today I'm doing a review of Volume 2 of Stranger Things. I know this video is very late, it's just I've been busy because I worked on my short film all of that week, and then I've been editing this week. Well, not really editing, I've been getting the footage ready for editing. So I've been fairly busy, and of course I covered Thor and all that. So now it's time to talk about Stranger Things, Volume 2. I talked about Volume 1, you can check out that video, and it'll be at the title card at the end. My spoiler thoughts on Volume 1, and now I'll be diving into my spoiler thoughts onto Volume 2. I still really liked the rest of the season. It was very consistent with Volume 1. I don't think there's people comparing Volume 1 and Volume 2, and I just think that's really stupid. The only thing that's comparable is some of the editing choices that they made. And my main issues with these last two episodes are how they were edited for the audience, and you'll see what I mean. But I had some issues with the last episode in particular, and how it felt a little manipulative to get an emotion out of you that wasn't necessarily there, but trying to make it. They try to edit it to make you feel something, and you'll see what I mean once I dive more into this video. But I'll just say these last two episodes. The last episode was 2.5 hours, and it flew by. Episode 8 was as well really, really good. You get a great moment with spoilers, by the way. All full spoilers. You're going full spoilers with this. Episode 8 was really, really good. And the way it ended was also very it just gave me that feeling the show doesn't have that much left in them. Not because I'm not saying that as negative. I'm saying that as a pro. They really made me. The show actually made me feel a little bit for Dr. Brenner towards the end. I really saw his perspective. I don't agree with him, and neither does the show, but to really see what his intentions are, they're not all bad. And you just don't of course, I don't like how he carried them out, but I actually felt a little bad for him at the end, I'm not gonna lie. And if you didn't feel bad, I did get emotional. I didn't cry without these, within these two episodes, but it was a really straining episode, because 11, she has that power collar on her, but she still manages to take down the helicopter, and with some gorgeous shots. And part of me thinks some of that looks like they did it for real, so good on them. But when Brenner died, I was really feeling it, because it's showing the season has one more left, and this show has been part of my life forever. And so the fact that they're just kind of ending it naturally just means so much to me, that they're not just running it into the ground. Because we also see a lot more of Vecna and the kind of upside down what he came into, and some of the visual effects were stunning there. It looked movie level when you see him in that yellow world, and it looks really, really cool. And you see that he basically created the Mind Flare, and all that looked visually really, really good. I liked everything they did with Vecna. Surprisingly, it's my favorite villain of the whole show. Vecna was my biggest concern going into this season, and he's without a doubt my favorite aspect going out of it. So I'm overjoyed to be saying that. But so episode 8 was really strong. You also get a really good moment with Will, and Noah Schnapp really brought his acting to its full in that one scene in the car while Mike's being an idiot. And I just love the memes of that, going on Twitter and seeing all those memes. The best one I saw was the the meme where the guy's looking out the window and he's smiling in the train, and then the other guy's on the other side with no window, and he's just looking all sad, shrugged up against the train. That was basically the first thing I thought of when I was watching the episode, and then I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, yep, I manifested that. But yeah, episode 8 was really good. It wasn't too long. I will argue that episode 9 was longer, and it just felt like it was long for the reason because so they could say it's the 2.5 hour finale, even though it didn't necessarily feel warranted to be 2.5 hours. Now we're going to dive into episode 9. Episode 9 was good. I really liked it, but it's not my favorite of the finales. In fact, it might be my least favorite of all the finales of this show. But every single finale to this show is at least a 9 out of 10. So when I say it's my least favorite, that doesn't mean I don't think it's bad. It's still not a bad episode this season. We didn't have one bad episode this season. I think every season has minus season 1 has an episode or two I don't care for. And this season and season 1 are 2 seasons. I don't have any problem with any of the episodes. But episode 9 I do have some problems with. mostly because they just kind of felt like that's what I mean. It felt edited to be manipulative because it felt like the need to have every character to have like a whole like season finale moment, even though some of the storylines were basically done, particularly the Hopper, Joyce, and Murray, Enzo storyline, because they're like, we need to go back to the prison to fight the Demogorgon because it helps the kids. And I'm like, okay. And of course they do this like cinematic montage, and it's him chopping off the head of the Demogorgon, and I had a huge smile on my face. I was enjoying it, but at the end of the day I was like, but how is this helping to the story? Just like particularly my biggest issue with this episode isn't something it's something I enjoyed, it's just something that bugs me, because I just don't really like this mindset. Because obviously, since Volume 1 came out of this show, the whole Kate Bush running up that hill song just skyrocketed. And I get it. I get why it skyrocketed, and I see why people keep on listening to it. But they love the show, and so they will have the song now. And I get it. But the fact that I can guarantee you, I absolutely guarantee you, if that song did not skyrocket and everyone loved it, it would have not been in the final cut of that episode. I really believe that they edited that clip with that song and put it in there just so the fans could be like, yes, that song. And so it didn't necessarily feel like a director or creative team's vision. It just felt like it was manifested for the fans, and that's fine. It just felt, I didn't understand the significance of using that song again in that moment. And I don't analyze songs like that, so maybe the lyrics mean more. It's just, it felt so like a fan's choice because it's responded so well. They just like put it all the slow motion stuff, blasting that song. And I can get it if you're a fan and you love that. It's just, it took me a little bit out of it because it's like we're playing it again. I just felt like they edited that. And I am 95% sure that song would have not been in episode 9 if the fans just didn't really say anything about it from episode 4. Just editing choices like that kind of bothered me. And particularly, okay, now we're going to get into mega spoilers, of course, if you're watching before. That was, we've gone through mild spoilers, now we're getting into mega spoilers. Eddie dies, and the reason why I loved the character, who didn't love this character this season? But it fell so flat for me, and it's not wrong, there's nothing wrong with the performances, there's nothing wrong with how it was done. It's just that this show keeps on killing brand new characters in the first season, because it's getting predictable that they introduce a new character, kill him off, introduce a new character, kill him off. First we had Bob, in season 3 it was someone else. Who else was it? In season 3 it was someone else. I'm blanking at the moment. It just feels like it's so like, really? Because it'd be nice to at least have them through season 5, because we introduce these new characters to kind of we introduced these new characters to to love them, but from the beginning I knew that I had a feeling that Eddie would die. So the fact that Eddie just kind of died, it was just so predictable. And I hate to say that, but and I don't like that the Duffer Brothers are saying, oh, we have one big death toll, because I was really expecting something bombastic, and I did not get the deaths I was expecting to. And that's not a bad thing, it's just particularly interviews can sometimes do some harm to expectations with what people see, because they said like 5 deaths, and I text my friends there's 3.5. And another thing I felt a little numb to is with Max, because I get what they try to do, and they had her death moment. She died, and I really thought it was well done. I was like, dang, that really cuts deep, and it was really emotional. It's just, and then I felt like they cheated. 11 puts the hand on the chest, and then she's back, but not entirely. And so I'm very curious where they're going to go with that in season 5. And I honestly can't have a definitive opinion on what they do with Max until I see season 5, because she goes into her head and nothing's there. So is she gone for real? So it's I'm kind of leery on it, but I need to see season 5 to really determine how I feel about that. But it's just, we had a very like not cinematic, but like an emotional wrenching death for her, and then like she's kind of back, and so I don't know how I feel about it yet. So far, it's like season 5 really needs to kind of bring it when it comes to that. Show me what it's for, basically. But yeah, I love that Vecna survived this season because, like I said, he's a terrifying villain. I'm glad they're still holding him for season 5. Of course, the portal to the Upside Down through all of Hawkins opens, and then they all start to see the stuff in the air, and then Will's neck has the chills, and they all see the Upside Down slowly infesting Hawkins, and that was everything I wanted out of for a setup for season 5, because it really set a great stage for season 5. I hope the Duffer Brothers pull off season 5, because if they pull off because I really like all 4 of these seasons. I know I said previously that season 3 wasn't my favorite, but after rewatching it for this season, I actually liked it a lot more. I'm going to go through my ranking of the seasons real quick, because it's, I'll do a full video on the ranking of the seasons once season 5 comes out, when God knows when. But as for now, my least favorite season is still season 3, and keep in mind, I love all 3 of these seasons. All 4 of these seasons. So when I say number 1 is, one's in the number 4 is still a season I really like. The biggest thing just holding it back is just it was not necessarily the tone I wanted out of the show. And like season 4 also has this problem, but the characters are all separated, plus with the unfamiliar tone, it felt like completely different from the other 2 seasons. That's not a bad thing. I'm fine with them doing change. It's just it also introduced some problems that season 1 and 2 didn't have. And yeah, plus it took like an episode or two, like about an episode too long to really set the stage for what's going to happen this season. And then, of course, surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, number 3. Number 3 is season 2. I think it's a great follow-up to season 1. Of course, people trash on this season because it has that one bad episode, but I dismiss it, and you just count it as an 8-episode season. But it's still something that the show's never going to shake, because it's kind of been the joke of this whole show at this point, that episode. But yeah, season 2 was still really, really good. I really liked the introduction of the Demodogs. I thought they were quite scary, and I think this is one of the more scarier seasons. In fact, it might be the scariest season for me, at least. But yeah. And then, of course, number 2, season 4. I think it was a phenomenal season. I really thought the extra runtime really added a lot to it. Plus, it kind of went back to that tone I really liked about the first 2 seasons. And then, of course, number 1 is season 1. You're never going to beat season 1. I don't suspect any season will beat this season, because season 1 is pure TV show magic. It's gripping, it's fascinating, and it's really, I feel like the show at its purest. But yeah, anyways, that is my review for season 4 of Stranger Things. I guess I'll be giving a total score. I'm gonna give season 4 of Stranger Things a 9 out of 10. An extremely solid season. I expected it blew me away, to be honest. I really expected it to be maybe better than season 3, not as good as season 2, but the fact that I like it even more than season 2, which is still a season I love, is blew my mind, because this show continues to really show me how much each time this season's done, I'm like, wow, I really love this show. So yeah, comment down below what you guys thought of season 4 of Stranger Things. Like I said, you can hear my thoughts on volume 1 in the other video, but of course this is more of a volume 2 review, but I guess I can count it because I give a whole score in this, so it'll be Stranger Things 4 review. But yeah, anyways, comment down below what you guys thought of season 4. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, and stuff like that, and adios.